Hello, my name is Alexandra Schuer and I am interviewing Stephen Schuer on October 20th. Stephen Schuer is the owner of United Signs Company, which is located in Pasadena, Maryland. There is only one location and no other family members are involved. I will now begin to ask Stephen Schuer a few questions about his business. How much time, money, and planning did it take before deciding to open up a business?
It took a lot of planning, actually. It didn't take a lot of money because I started it many, many years ago. The business is now almost 30 years. So there was a lot of planning, a lot of hard work, a lot of hours involved. And at that point in time, I really didn't have a lot of money, so I was able to pretty much start the business on a shoestring budget.
All right. How did you go about finding a location for your business?
It was word of mouth. I was looking for a location that would work for the sign business where we could fabricate and install signs. Eventually, about a year in, I was able to buy a facility, a fairly decent-sized shop in Annapolis, Maryland, and we moved the location into that location for approximately 10 years before we moved to Pasadena.
How, what, and where do you advertise and promote your business?
Our advertising was minimal, really. We didn't do much advertising. It was word of mouth. It was repeat business. And eventually, as the business began to grow, it was a lot of repetitive business. The clients would come back to us, and then it would be word of mouth, or they would see our trucks on the road, and that's how we would get a lot of business, just people referring people to us.
Does your company have a website?
Yes.
Who built you it, and who maintains it?
It was built by a web designer, Steve Norwood. It was built about 6 or 7 years ago when we redid it, and he also maintains it as well for us.
Why did you build the website?
Why did I what?
Why did you build the website?
We built the website for our national clients. We do a lot of work for companies throughout the United States, and we also send, so we'll send a link with all of our emails so that our clients nationally can get on it and see what we do locally on the local market.
What are the licensing requirements for your business?
A lot of licenses required. We have to be licensed in every single county and state that we do work in. We do work throughout the Mid-Atlantic. We also are licensed in the state of Florida as well. As I took this Florida State Contractors exam, but we don't do any work in Florida currently. But we do, for every county that we do work in, we do have to pull permits, and permits require licenses for every jurisdiction that we work in.
All right. Now we will move on to your employment process. How do you select potential employees that you trust?
Well, I've been fortunate. The employees that I have, all the employees that I have now currently have been with me for 20 plus years. So on that end, we've been very fortunate. You have to take care of your employees, and they'll keep on coming back to you. As far as the requirements are concerned, we do get into a lot of height work, installing signs way up on buildings. So we want to make sure that those employees have the necessary skills to work off of high cranes, scale down buildings, and are not afraid of heights.
All right. What do you think is the most important quality in an employee?
Loyalty, honesty, and being faithful to not only me, but the company as well.
Okay. How many different positions are available to apply for in your business?
Currently 3. Our primary objective, what we do here at United Signs, is install signs. What we do is we install for national sign companies. So when there's a large-scale conversion to Wells Fargo or Bank of America, they're looking for a company like ours to install in the area. So we just go after installers, office personnel like an office manager, or somebody that can also handle the installation like a project manager. But those are about the only 3 or 4 positions available within the company.
Okay. How long do you train your newly hired employees? And do you have a specific program, or is it more casual?
It's casual. The last employee that I did hire was probably about 5 years ago, and they're really trained by the other installers that are in the field, because that's where they're working. They're working in the field with those guys installing signs, and they work to make sure that that they train them to install and wire the signs as need be.
Have you had any bad experiences with employees, and if so, how have you dealt with that?
Absolutely. I've had hundreds of employees over the years, over the past 30 years, and typically, I mean, we can weed the bad employees out pretty quickly. It doesn't take much because a bad employee will show their flaws pretty quickly, and we normally just terminate them. We normally give them a warning if needed, but in most cases, they become pretty blatant and we'll just fire immediately. Maryland is a no-fire state. You can fire an employee at any time for no particular reason as well. So.
How has owning your own business affected your family?
Owning your own business, you eat, live, and sleep the company. I mean, so you're bringing it home with you every single day. So, I mean, it's a topic of conversation at home on many days. When we're driving down the road, we're typically talking about the sign business or signs that we've done over the years. So it's effectively on a daily basis. It's brought up in the family. Absolutely.
What kind of day-to-day things do you have to do?
Day-to-day things is selling. Obviously, I've got to bring in new work, and that's done by the internet typically. And then we've got I also do invoicing, so invoicing is done on a daily basis, and then scheduling my guys to make sure when they go out and install a sign that we've got all the necessary paperwork and documentation it takes for them to go out and install a sign.
Okay. What is it that makes you feel your business is a success?
Say that again?
What is it that makes you feel your business is a success?
Our workmanship. I mean, people keep on coming back to us. It's been the same clients that we've had over the last, 15, 20 years, and they keep on coming back to us because they know that when they send a sign to us, it's going to be installed properly, that we're going to apply for and obtain all the necessary permits, invoice them properly, which is it's a big part of the business as well, and just making sure that everything runs smoothly from start to finish on each project.
What is the worst experience you have experienced while operating your business?
What's the what?
What's the worst experience you've had?
The worst experience is probably theft through an employee or two that's stolen from us over the years. Once a big sign fell off the crane truck as it was going to the job site. But there's daily problems. I mean, whether a tire breaks down and an employee doesn't show up for work, there's always challenges when owning your own business because you just never know what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the way you operate your business, what would you change?
Probably, I don't really know if I would change anything because it's taken me so many years now to get to the way that I want it to be. I always wanted a business that wasn't going to run me. I wanted to run the business. And that's the problem with a lot of small businesses. The businesses start to run the owners, and I've got it down to the right size now that I'm able to manage, run the business, and it runs pretty smoothly now.
Okay. And what is the best advice that you could give someone starting out in business?
Just be prepared for a lot of hard work. I mean, it took me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years before I even took a salary out of the company. I started the company before I had kids, before I was married, and that was definitely a bonus for me because I didn't need to take a lot of money to survive at that point in time. So, if you're starting out a new business, be prepared to go a while without a paycheck. The boss is always going to be the last one to get a paycheck as well, too. The employees, the vendors, the insurance reps, the lawyers, everybody else, the accountants, they all get paid before you do. So you always got to make sure that there's enough money in the coffers to pay everybody, and then finally you'll get paid. It takes a long time to build up the account to make sure that there's always enough money for you because there can't be a Friday that goes by where you can't pay your employees. You got to make sure that you can look yourself in the eye every week and know that your employees are getting paid.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and I will speak to you soon.
Okay. Thank you, and I'm glad that it went well, and good luck with your project.
Thank you.